Good morning or afternoon or evening, everybody, depending on where you are. I am the Astonishing Melanie. This is the Uncanny Omar, and together we are Omni. Welcome to Near Me Condition, a channel where you can be part of a positive, honest community and lay claim to some comic book knowledge. And I am hyped about the new Deadpool Wolverine trailer. So it's like, let's wear our necklaces. Let's go, bub. Go,
okay,
bub.
first of all, I'm the one that says let's go, bub. You say let's go. I don't think it's new though. I thought I've seen that one before.
Well, it released an hour ago on Ryan Reynolds' channel.
Weird. I've seen that trailer before. Might be the international trailer. Anyway, how's it going, everybody? Caden, how are you, buddy? Long time no see. Love the hair, Melanie. Sorry. Good morning, Martin.
Oh yeah, this is totally a wig.
Melanie looks fire.
I have not been in summer mode yet, so I feel like I'm in summer mode today.
Oh,
I got up and I
here we
exercised,
go.
and
Here we go. Yeah, everybody's confused. New trailer. It's my wife, everybody.
Is it that? Okay, you take over. Take over.
I did take over when I said I don't think it's a new trailer. I think it's been out for a while. Afternoon from the UK. Hey, Joey, how are you? You guys should use the necklace to fuse in the other way. Oh, like the earrings?
Yeah, that's true.
That would be bad. That would be bad. Let me... Oh, thank you, Mike. How are you, buddy?
Okay, it's hashtag Best Friends Day 1 hour ago.
So he just reshared it, probably.
Oh, well, I thought whatever.
I'm going to let Melanie read this one. Mike, how are you? How have you been, buddy?
Great to see Omar.
We'll let him in a second.
Kyojuru Ringoku?
There we go. Yeah, do you know who that is?
No. But thank you.
Melanie hasn't watched it and it's new. That's how it is.
It's new.
Oh, then there's all new kinds of comics coming out, like Starman.
All new Wolverine.
Good to hear, brother. Hope you and your family are doing well. Omar, you're killing it with all new reviews and the Kickstarter mentioned last week. Been picking up books left and right. Thoughts and prayers to your wallet. I am so sorry. Everybody, welcome Dom of X.
Hi, Dom.
Good morning, Melanie. Good morning, Omar.
I didn't expect you to join this early. I was like, oh, if you want to join an hour into it.
I was waiting for the text.
Well, I was going to text you like at noon because it's 11 right now, but that's okay. That's okay. Dom's here early, like a trooper, all the way from California. That means he's up. You should be up watching too.
Really quick. Mike's debating. Should Mike put Batman 232 on layaway at his LCS?
Do you know what the LCS is, Melanie?
Yes, I know what LCS is.
Okay, well, tell the people overseas.
It's a local comic store.
Okay.
I have no idea.
That
I have no
one day that you would know what it means?
What? No. Advice to give Mike.
Oh, Mike Ortega. They have layaway? Man, even Walmart doesn't do layaways anymore. That's the Raj Al Ghul story, right?
I got into collected editions, switch from single issues. I'm the opposite. No, I'm into collected editions, but this year now I'm into single issues as well.
She is.
Comic book store thing.
I
got into it because they're here in her house.
If they offer layaway, do it, man. It's a good. That's the one with Talia, right? And Raj Al Ghul, Raj Al Ghul, Raj Al Ghul. Anyway.
Tom, it looks like your Pokemon's kind of like creeping up on you. Squirtle's like, what's it called? Oh, can't think of words.
He's got a that's there and has no soul.
Sneaking up on you.
I always wondered how you got into it. I got into it around 2000, and so I came back to comics in 2000, late 2001, early 2002. And what was happening is I started noticing a rise in trade paperbacks, mainly by Marvel Comics releasing like six issue story arcs, and then those would be immediately put into trade paperback. Cool. So I ended up getting some things that I had missed out on in trade paperback. I was still collecting X-Men. Like I refused to give like into the X-Men trade paperback because I was like, no, I was really proud of my collection. I was proud of my single issues, and I was going to keep getting single issues.
I'm proud of my single issues that are signed.
Yeah, but my single issues were like 20 long boxes, and you got...
Oh, and you know what? Whose signed single issues are in my long box? Yours.
Yeah, my signed single issues, yes. Not that size matters. Not that size matters, but It was a task, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I did not want to cave in and go fully collected editions. By 2004, I realized Marvel was really putting out everything in trade paperbacks, and I was like, "This is cool." Then they introduced the Omnibus game, and I was like, "I'm in."
And what was your first?
Uncanny X-Men 1, and I was like,
There you go,
"I'll
bro.
only get X-Men." Hey, Becky, I'll only get X-Men. And then I thought, oh, Spider-Man and Fantastic Four are coming out. Oh, I'll just stick to Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, and X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
That's all she wrote. Yeah.
That's all she wrote. You got regular voice volume today, baby.
I know. I adjusted my microphone because something happened with the StreamYard the last time where I like logged in and I'm like, man, I'm at whatever the volume is, the adjusted mic volume, and it picked up every single bit of my voice, but I got that fixed, and hopefully it won't happen again.
There he is.
Hi, JT.
Dude, I was just talking about you the other day. Have you anybody seen who else? No Man. What's his name? He has Sylvester McCoy on Avatar. No Man 84.
Oh, yeah.
Haven't seen him forever, and I was really happy to tell him that we're bringing back Met My Ex. How's it going, JT?
You're welcome, Tom. Saturday morning, fan. We're gonna go see Lord of the Rings today, tomorrow, and Monday.
I made a mistake. That's 3 hours out of my day. 4
Take 2 ibuprofen, 2 Tylenol, so I can sit through it.
That's the way old people get ready to go to the theater and sit there for 4 hours.
Do you like any of these movies that Saturday morning fans listed?
I love Lord of the Rings. I'm hoping to rewatch that series with my podcast co-host at some point this summer.
Oh, okay.
I'm excited.
Loved your interview with Jim Sterling, the one he did with Comics Perch.
Really well.
But I've come away from them learning. I'm wanting to read the Punisher POV. Has it ever been collected anywhere? Punisher POV? Are you talking about the dentist? The one where he goes to the dentist and it's told through the perspective of the inside of the guy's mouth? That one? Punisher POV, or was that a mini series? Because there's a couple mini series that they haven't collected yet.
I was thinking of Robot by Design the other day as well.
She's still on our Patreon. Maybe she flipped out so much at hearing the news of a Dazzler Omnibus that she just hasn't recovered yet.
Lionheart, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to give you. Oh wait, I'll give you this one for yours. Omar,
Support HQ miniseries. No, I don't think it has been.
Just emailed you the trailer to Street Fighter 6 Season 2.
What?
Till the end. I'm pumped.
You better not spoil anything for me. Yo, I heard that like King of Fighters is coming. No, there's a new Fatal Fury coming out. Thank you, Joey. How are you? Hype. I hope you're doing well. I'm certainly well. Today's my birthday. I am now 25 years old. It is a beautiful day, and I intend to enjoy it. Also, I'm doing a birthday graduation party. Take care.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Joey Berry. 121. Happy birthday to you and many more.
Congratulations, buddy. I hope you get
today, Joey.
I hope you get double the gifts because it's a birthday and a graduation party. So you get twice as many gifts.
Ooh. There's a question for you. Oh, I didn't star it, or more of a comment that somebody is
Chris
through. Oh, dread. Lost it.
Okay. That's okay.
Well, let's go back down to Dan's question. Any collected edition whales that you're still after?
Essex County hardcover. Final answer. No, wait, that's not the final answer. I have a lot. A lot of manga. A lot of out of print manga.
That's true.
JT, it's so good to see you, brother. I hope you've been well. Punisher POV 1991 series. Oh, okay. I didn't know it has not been collected in trade paperbacks.
Oh, here we go. Thanks, Polylopes. That's what I was looking for. Polylopes finally passed the Outback years for X-Men. Went to gym, leave so much better.
How dare you? The Outback years is where it's at, man. Can I read God Loves Man Kills without having read any X-Men comics? What do you think, Domovex?
I mean, I read it without reading all of the previous stuff before. I think it's a wonderful. So I think it's a partly wonderful introduction to some of those characters too. So I think you'd be fine without reading any of the material before. I mean, they've published trade paperbacks of the entire story without having all of that pre-Uncanny material. So I think you'll be fine.
I agree. I read it with reading some X-Men.
We can't just skip over that comment by Ryan.
Okay, chill. I'll come back to it.
You better come back to it.
But I think there's definitely enough characterization that it's a great read, and you don't have to know like a bunch of history to it. Outback Years has a lot of bad.
Right, Ryan. Just
My drive says
much
Outback
like-
Years has a lot of fun.
Thank you for balancing that out, Ryan. Much like your 20s, of course it has a lot of bads, but there's some good in there too. I see Squirtle is running co-host duties for Dom. What's everybody's favorite? Oh gosh,
Is Squirtle your favorite starter Pokemon?
Oh my gosh. So I have a Bulbasaur plushie with me, but I think Totodile probably has to take mine. I know I switch back and forth, but it's either Bulbasaur or Totodile for me because it's just what I grew up with.
Totodile?
I don't know.
I know the original 150, and I never played the video games. We played the card games. We did play the video or the card game for a little while until Melanie found me cheating.
Yes, and there we just argued. I was like, no, you're cheating. It's not fun.
It wasn't cheating.
Yes, you are.
It's not cheating if you don't get caught.
Cyndaquil. I know Cyndaquil.
We do Cyndaquil.
I love Cyndaquil too.
That's not 150. I remember the 150.
Rap. Let's see. Piplup. I think I know Piplup. Any updates regarding the most recent shipping delays for the Savage Sword of Conan Omnibus reprints?
Yeah, I actually heard back from my wonderful contacts at Titan Comics. Let me just make sure I can read it, because sometimes they tell me things happening behind the scenes, and they're like, we'd rather not, let people know exactly.
Now the poker.
Other than because people are just interested in the dates, not like the things that are occurring. Let's see. The Omnis are now scheduled for about a month later in September. We'll keep you posted if any further delays, but hopefully. Okay, can you let the viewers correct me, please? But hopefully that there won't be any more. So that was the last thing that they said. But I think one of them got bumped up again, right? Didn't the Conan the Barbarian, the original years, get bumped up again to like a closer date, if I'm not mistaken? Does Omar cheat at Mario Party? There is no cheating at Mario Party. You're just good.
Let's see. Hi, Omar, Melanie, Dom. Omar, my wife thinks you're dreamy. She wants to know if Marvel has plans to re-release the Inferno Prologue Omni.
Is that your way of sweet talking me to saying, oh, let me get right on it. The Inferno Prologue, is that a print? My goodness, these things, I can't keep up. I don't think it's supposed to be, but it didn't make it in our top 20, but also at any time they can reprint anything they want. Doesn't have to just stick to that list. As a matter of fact, I think there's one reprint I haven't announced yet that was not on the list. Right? What have I announced already that's live? Old Republic and Daredevil by Bendis 2. That was on the list. And what was the other book? There was another book that Annihilation. Annihilation wasn't on the list. Annihilation Conquest was, and so was the Realm of the King, and actually there were 4 other Omnis that almost made it on the list for the Space Saga. Hey, buddy, but not Annihilation. So at any point they can reprint whatever they want to, and it'll be really interesting to see what they get from our list this round, and what they decide to reprint celebrating their characters. I probably need to remind them that they did a Thor Omnibus Volume 1 reprint, and people still want a Volume 2, even though it didn't make it in the top 25. Phoenix Omnibus Volume 3. That's why I don't get too excited, because they moved that one, and who knows when they're going to bring it back.
We are going to be, and how are you, Earth Geomancer? We're going to be on vacation. We're going to Japan at the end of June.
Yeah,
into July,
and I'll be gone until
Domovex is graciously
he's hosting one of us.
Out. Yeah,
he's great. Oh, he's doing a overview too, of something. But I'll let you all be surprised.
I made a couple of videos that Omar's going to use while we're in Japan. Captain America Trade, Stand, Transformers by Daniel Warren Johnson.
I probably need
to do another one soon. Oh, you think you'll use it soon?
Yeah, that's a good book.
Oh yeah, it is. Good morning, Chris. I'm organizing what I want to get signed for HeroesCon next week. Question: which creator is still on your bucket list that you haven't met yet? Oh, this is a good question, Chris. And then we'll get to Living Shot. Thank you for the super chat.
Oh my goodness, this is a really good question. Who haven't I met that I would love to meet?
There you are, Johnson.
I-
I'd like to get meet in person and not over the interwebs.
I've actually met him and I never got anything signed by him.
Yeah.
Like there were other podcasters and YouTubers that were getting things signed by the team, the Energon team, and I was just wanting to talk to them about like the possibility of G.I. Joe and Transformers, and I was like, I probably should have taken a chance to get something signed because they had like the free Duke preview there. Joshua Williamson was signing that, and so was the artist. David Michelini, honestly. I'd love to meet David Michelini. Yes. I've never met him.
I love my signature by Mark Bagley.
Terry Austin to complete my signature of Uncanny X-Men 114 because I've got it signed by Stan Lee, John Byrne. Actually, it's back here somewhere. John Byrne, Stan Lee, John Byrne, Chris Claremont, and I would love for Terry Austin to sign that book. That's one of my favorite.
What about you, Dom?
Gems.
It's a good question. I haven't gone to any conventions, which sounds.
I know Dom's telling me that.
Yeah, I told Omar this on Tuesday. I was like, I've never been to a convention just mainly for the lack of time in my life, but I'd love to meet Chip Zdarsky someday.
Yes,
seems like a pleasant fellow.
Guy's overrated. He's not that funny.
Oh gosh,
he's not that funny. No, he's a wonderful human being. I love that guy. They're creators that you can tell are genuinely good people. Unless they're really good liars, of course. But I still like the people that
JT, yes.
I have a soft spot in my heart for the people that don't even want to be at conventions, right? But they have to because a new book's coming out. It's usually the older gentlemen that are like, what am I doing here? It's kids wearing a freaking wig. I don't even know who these characters are. They know who Sergeant Rock is, and they're just signing away, not really talking to the audience, right? Because they're older. They don't want to even be there, but I have a soft spot in my heart for those creators. The guy who wrote Alf, are you serious? Chip is amazing. He is. I can't.
Living Shot, thank you so much for the super chat. And
that's a good one, though.
What is your most wanted Marvel horror omnibus? Oh, I think I did. For me, it's 90s Morbius, but that's going to take a while to happen now due to the awful little movie.
Yes, sir.
That's a good question, Living Shot.
That movie was awful. Hey, Zoe Bean. I think for me, it's probably the follow-up to Marvel Horror Lives Again. I would love a Marvel Horror Lives Yet Again. Something that has like the Frankenstein's monster stuff, because we still have a lot of that era in it that needs to be collected. Oh, Jeff Parker would be a good one too. You might get into Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd is awesome. I haven't met Kieran Gillen. But if I had just one person to meet, it would probably be Terry Austin, just to complete my Uncanny X-Men 114 that I swore to myself I would own one day. This is one that didn't get away from me either. I didn't have to sell it. And it means a lot more now since it's, signed by Stan and then Claremont and Byrne. And the memories of meeting all of them at different times in my life. Because I was oh my gosh, I think when John Byrne signed us, I was like 14 years old.
Baby, wow.
Stan Lee signed us when I was in my 20s, and then in my 30s, I finally got to meet the man himself, Chris Claremont, and I did not let go of his hand.
You're still holding it. It's weird.
Which is the creepiest handshake I've ever
Tom,
done.
Do you think you'll be you'll meet somebody someday? Do you think you'll be like really, really nervous, or do you think you'll keep your cool?
Who's the one creator you think you would be starstruck by?
Probably Hickman. Because he's my favorite writer. I've never gotten a chance to meet the guy because I don't live on the East Coast, but that's someone who I definitely want to meet with. But I also wouldn't know what to say if I did ever get a chance to meet him.
I've met him a couple of times. He's a super down-to-earth dude. And I always thought that he would be out there like Grant Morrison. That's somebody else, Grant Morrison. I always thought he'd lean in and be like, I've seen your death.
Says to people.
Oh, I can see Grant Morrison actually messing with people like that. All right. Good morning, everyone. Since Fantastic Four Volume 1 and 2 Omnis are sold out, should I start at Byrne or Wade and Ringo as my first FF Omni? Oh, both of them are excellent choices. Both of those are excellent choices. Seriously. Those are phenomenal ways to get into the FF. Byrne's run is a little bit of a slow burn, and I swear I don't mean to make jokes when I say that. But that's
Pun
just
intended.
reality. It's a little bit of a slow burn to get through where the meat is of that sandwich. And it's amazing when you get there's a lot of heartache too. Wade's kicks off like that, like introduces you to the characters. Melanie,
I
really?
didn't mean it like that, Tom. I know it sounded like I meant, you know what I meant. I love it. What are you saying, Sean DeSook?
He knows what he's saying.
Nobody's saying Higgins is part of the most relaxed people in comics at this moment.
He is, seriously.
Remember, Chip is really, really down to earth to you, to the point of like self-deprecation. Hickman didn't have a sign, and you were like, "Are you really Hickman?"
Oh yeah, Amanda,
and
who else was it? It was the three of us, because Hickman wasn't supposed to be at C2E2 in 2019, and he just wrote Jonathan Hickman, and he put his little like piece. It wasn't even a play, like it was a piece of paper folded over. And Amanda and I were like, look on we didn't have internet service too because it was down. We were like, I don't know. I've never seen Hickman. That could be him. So I just went up to him. I was like, hi, you look like somebody that could be Jonathan Hickman, or are you just squatting here? It's like, no, it's really me. Fariha, that's who was with us. And she's like, it's him, because she knows what he looked like. Did John Byrne yell at you or treat you with indifference when you had the book signed?
Thank you, Bruce, for the super chat. How are you doing, buddy?
I will say John Byrne is that curmudgeon I'm talking about. Curmudgeon. Like, I've told the story several times of him throwing the kids comic because he didn't work on it. He's like, not me. But I don't know. I really like people like that. He's not. I mean, I asked him. I did make the mistake of asking him at 14 years old. Do you ever think you'll go back to working on X-Men? And he was like, I've been there, done that. I'm never doing that again. And then he, of course, later on did X-Men: The Hidden Years. And so it's fun. I find that really interesting. Now, I do think he is done with that, going to cons. And he gave up Elsewhere too. Or Elsewhere, is that what it's called? I have the omnibus down there. Elsewhere. Yeah, so it's.
Did you ever see Ed Brubaker?
I did. Yeah, where was that? It was either at Baltimore or Philadelphia. Super cool dude.
Logan.
John Romita Jr. was awesome too.
I liked him. I don't know what Punisher POV is about. Jim said it was supposed to be the Batman cult. Yeah, the DC didn't want it, so he and Bernie Wrightson.
Yeah, turned it into a Punisher story. Yep, that is true. That's what he was talking about in my interview. DC was.
And I was really proud of you because you showed that you're an actual fan and reader, and because you brought up Dreadstar.
I think sometimes he really
responded to that.
In interviews, I noticed, like, if you go back and watch my Peter David interview, oh my gosh, it is so uncomfortable at first because he did not want to be there. He wasn't feeling good. He had a hoodie on and he looks like he's about to drop a rap album. And he was hungry. They weren't feeding him.
Yeah, that's.
And here comes this guy that's like, "Hey, Mr. Peter David," and and you do so many interviews, and a lot of people like ask the same questions over and over. But dude, like, body language completely changed the minute I brought up Fallen Angel. Like, I was like, I'm a huge fan of Fallen Angel, and at that moment, even
then I'm gonna come back.
I remember David texted me. He's like, "Wow, he really opened up when you mentioned Fallen Angel," and I'm like, "I love that book," and he like his. Yeah, he completely changed his posture. He was like, I think he put his hoodie down and he was like, yeah, man, that's cool. Maybe one day we'll have a collection of that.
Howard Mackey was really down to earth.
I liked Howard Mackey.
Yeah.
And what did you do?
I couldn't remember David Gabriel's name. And I'm like, oh, and he was so sweet trying to help me out. And I'm like, man. Anyway, yeah.
Hi, Melanie and Omar. Good weekend. It's been a while for me to join your streams. Glad to be here again, and still. I'm glad you're here. Dom, for people that don't know who you are, like, this is the first time that they've seen you. Who are you, buddy? What do you do here on the channel?
So I project manage the channel now, thanks to working my way up from Omar letting me continue to do certain things, which includes making thumbnails, editing videos, and just managing the channel out and all that. I'm also the assistant editor of comicreleases.com, where I literally just got a notification that a Marvel Omnibus got delayed a month. So
which one?
Brand New Day. So for all the people out there who are considering of buying Brand New Day Volume 1 or pre-ordered it, the original date or the pre-date was July the 16th. It is now August the 13th of this year. for the release date of Brand New Day Volume 1.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but there was also a delay on single issues too, and not just from like I know we mainly focus on Conan, Titan Comics, and Marvel Omnis, but across the board, Image has had a lot of delays. And what was it? There was a couple of DC books that just, I mean, you and I have joked about Naomi season 2 for what, a year they keep delaying that book.
Mhm.
I think something else is going on there too. So I think there's some printing delays, like from the actual printers. So I know Marvel these days is using 3 printers. They're using the Donnelly printer, they're using the iMac printer, and they're using the Mega print just as backups, I think, because of delays like this. I don't know if DC has backup printers because they just started printing. Well, you know, as of late last year, they're using a different printer now. That I know some people are not happy with the paper stuff, the satin paper that they're using.
Murray is saying, love you.
Oh, much love back to you, Omar. Thank you for saying my name properly. The Brand New Day Omni has been delayed forever. It has been. I don't have it yet. Usually I get the Omnis about 2 months, a month before. And the only ones for July I have so far are The Republic and The Amazing Spider-Man by David Michelinie and Mark Bagley.
So, Dom, I want to get back to Kana's question I highlighted earlier, but I don't want to cut off you talking about yourself. What got you into comics?
My uncle in the Philippines, I was in kindergarten. We visited back because every 3.5 years, me and my family, we visit back to see family in the Philippines. And my uncle gave me a copy of a Green Lantern issue by Jeff Johns from the Sinestro Corps War event. And it was the Sinestro Corps War special and issue 25 that he gave me, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And
your uncle gave you an American comic. You all have the same origin story.
I couldn't read English.
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, even when I was in kindergarten, I was still learning the whole language because preschool, I mean, I came in speaking Tagalog. For all of those who don't know, that's just one of the Filipino dialects, and it was super hard for me acquainting myself with English. But I got to a point where I was comfortable with it, and since then, like my cousin and my uncle in the Philippines just kept giving me a bunch of comics, and well, here I am. So.
Which part of the Philippines are you from?
I am from the Bulacan district in Luzon, so I'm from that part of the Philippines.
I wanted to highlight this. I know that you guys are having a conversation amongst yourselves, but so Seven Apollo is saying, I don't want stories past one more day. The story left such a sour taste in my mouth. Seeing everyone dissected, I just can't support Spider-Man book until they undo it. This reminds me of working at like the comic book store in the 90s, and it's amazing to see, no pun intended, when people stop reading a certain title and what it was that made them drop that title. I remember Mike Phillips, Marvel did this crossover Atlantis Attacks, and he was like, that was a cash grab. It was atrocious. I am never reading another Marvel comic again. He only read Punisher. That's it, dude. And he stuck to his guns. Like, that's another pun. He literally just read Punisher, and that was it. He never went back to Spider because of Atlantis Attacks. What else was there? There was a guy that used to read Spider-Man, and he stopped reading Spider-Man in issue 300. He was like, that was the worst Spider-Man story I've ever read. How does a costume come alive? And if that is your arch nemesis, then they're out of stories. And I was like, dude, you haven't read like the when he gets cosmic powers? This is during the McFarlane era, right? I'm like, you're missing out. And he was like, I don't care about that garbage. I don't even like the artist. He hated McFarlane's art. He's like, he makes everybody look old and everybody stiff. He's no John Romita or Ross Andrew. I thought that, so I find comments like that really interesting. Like, no matter what, like there is certain story arcs that you're like, nope, there is no going back from this. That's it. And some people do stick to their guns. I also known people like at comic book stores. I'm like, that's the last X-Men story I'll ever read. And then come back a couple of years later. I mean, I myself have said, I'm never reading X-Men again. This is atrocious. But I always come back.
Okay, what's our favorite Omni or trade that you would definitely keep? Well, I'm going to add keep at the end of that question.
Uncanny 3 or 1. Trade paperback. The Mark Grunwald's Ashes and the Squadron Supreme trade paperback. What about you, Dom?
Favorite Omni, I would probably keep. Got a copy of Bendis Daredevil 1. I think that's probably the thing I would keep. Trade. I gave away most of my trades, but I have Justice League by Jeff Johns and Jim Lee, Volume 1. That was also one of the first trades that I ever got as a kid. Even though I have the Omnis now, that book just means a lot because that was something I just kept reading and reading because it was all I had. So I'd probably keep that one. Just for sentimental value.
Spider-Man versus Venom.
You really like that
That's
Omni?
my childhood.
Oh wow.
That's what I started reading.
Well, I just did the overview of the Spider-Man by David Michelinie
and I want to read that.
And Mark Bagley, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of double dipping here. It almost makes that Spider-Man
for a
versus
split second, I was like, is this a reprint?
Well, it almost makes that Spider-Man versus Venom obsolete. But then I thought, wait, not obsolete if you just like Venom, right? If you're somebody that just wants to collect Venom, that really does have the early symbiote stories and then the Venom story, and it has Maximum Carnage. If a volume 2 of David Michelinie and Mark Bagley come out, I have no idea if they're going to collect Maximum Carnage complete in there.
This from a while ago, Kane was saying that I've been starstruck once. It was at New York Comic Con, and I was told not to be nervous next time.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're so sweet, Kane.
Let's see. If I ever get the Superior Foes of Spider-Man Omni, would that go in between the Spencer Omnis?
That will go before.
Yeah, it's before. Look at Dom. Dom's
there you go.
That's why Dom's project manager now. He knows.
And Shonda Sook's saying that his parents were in a refugee camp in the Philippines near Manila.
Interesting.
Oh my God. I'm sorry to hear that. I stopped reading Spider-Man after they killed off Uncle Ben, and I felt like they really jumped the shark.
What is wrong with you?
All right,
somebody
readers getting into Void Rivals and Transformers soon. So Omar read Void Rivals, and I've read Transformers.
Void Rivals was okay.
We'll pick up Duke and Cobra Commander at the end of the month and decide from whether I'm going to do the EU titles going forward or just sticking to Transformers.
Here's the thing with the way Skybound has been doing things, they're so connected. I can see Transformers and G.I. Joe kind of like phase 3 of IDW's Transformers. It's just gonna be like characters from G.I. Joe are gonna be showing up in Transformers and vice versa. You're gonna have one of the Jets be part of Cobra.
Gotcha. Oh shoot.
See, I love hearing stories like this. I can never get rid of X-Men Animated Series Omnibus. And that's what got me into reading Marvel Comics. I love that. Oh, David C's in Paris right now and found his John Romita Jr. Iron Man for 60 euros. So stoked. Congratulations, buddy.
I've been waiting for that New Republic Volume 2 Omni. See it on the shelf back there. Love the Timothy Zahn
novels when I was a kid. Those have the only Star Wars Dark Horse comics I read because I wasn't into the expanded universe. My brother was, and my buddy Dan were. Like my buddy Dan breathed and lived that expanded universe so much so that he made me. What was it that he bought? Shadows of the Empire, the video game on the Nintendo 64, because Dan was like, "Oh, it's amazing, man! You'll never go back." But oh my gosh, my favorite Dark Horse stories are in that omnibus. It's really good if you've never had a chance to see it. I want to see it in theater.
Oh, in theaters.
It's got a limited run.
Well, that's interesting.
Turning into a Decepticon, right? That's what I'm thinking. Like that's what's gonna happen.
Let's see. We've got a super chat. Oh, John, sorry, in your super chat, we got 2 super chats. Okay, so first, rank the Lantern Corns from the most to least awesome.
Oh my gosh! Oh, this is hard.
I can't do this one. I don't know.
From the most, like who's the most awesomest? I think it's personal taste, right? Like I think I would be powered by rage. So Red Lanterns.
Oh my gosh!
Omar going full out Atrocitus. Get a tiny Dex Star right next to you.
Well, that's true.
Yes.
Dex Star. Oh, okay, the cat.
Dex
That would
Stars
be
are
fun.
horrible. Who doesn't want spewing rage out of your mouth? Come on, that's awesome, man. Okay, and I guess green. I do love the idea of Will overcoming everything.
I like the idea of Hope.
Yeah, you're Hope.
But I don't know. I don't remember the story very well. Like, were they lame? Or are they cool?
I mean, they prayed a lot, and there's nothing lame about that.
That's something I've been wanting to, like, for a year. I'm like, I need to reread Blackest Night.
Although, as a collector, the orange lanterns really speak to me too. Mine.
Which ones do you like?
I can't lie.
Ooh.
The lamest one is Love. Which one is that? That's the
Star Sapphire.
Yeah. Love. What is it? Sailor Moon? I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, no. I mean, I like having a Green Lantern, so I'd probably join the Green Lantern Corps, as lame as that is. But I mean, hey, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a cute deck star right on your shoulder. So I would probably pick Rage as my second best.
Okay. Thank you, John, for the hard question. Why are Marvel Epics collections so hard to figure out their order when shopping online? Oh, because online, like Amazon, usually doesn't tell you what Epic volume it is, because they just rely on the ISBN. And sometimes Marvel leaves out the number for some reason, the volume number. That probably has to do with the way that it's coded. And thank goodness for channels like Near Mint Condition that do reading orders, or my buddy Crushing Crisis, or my buddy Curtis, who talks about Epic collections. But seriously, yeah, it's a pain sometimes. Sometimes you just have to Google the name of it, and you're like, oh, it's this volume. Got it. I think it's just the way that it's coded. Spewing rage out of your mouth. Omar just wants to be the YouTube comments. That's what I'm saying. Orange. I have a soft spot in my heart for orange, man. Like, I get it as a collector. Don't touch my stuff.
How many announcements this week?
I think Sunday and Tuesday there'll be some announcements. And they're not reprints. Those are new books coming. I always quote Chris Farley. You remember that time?
I did when I talked to Chip. I mean, it wasn't on the interview, but I was making fun of myself. Actually, I did pretty well.
Like, I always thought that's the way my Claremont interviews would go. You remember that time when you wrote the Dark Phoenix saga? Oh, man, that was awesome. It's like, yeah, what about it?
That was awesome.
That was just awesome, man.
Kind of blew my mind when Nick
Barucci
said Dynamite made a mistake when they published Red Sonja Omni as a regular size book, and that the reprint would be oversized. I'll rebuy it when they do.
Dave, awesome. we Nick and I and a couple of other people on his team have been chatting about the possibility of them starting new lines of collected editions, and they wanted my honest opinion. And it did take me a while because, I just because I just channel everybody that comments, and I know the things that not everybody likes, but the majority likes, and I know what kind of works and why they don't work. I know people that turn away trade paperbacks, but I also know there's a big chunk of people that love trade paperbacks. So you can't just make something exclusively a hardcover, because then you're going to lose the potential of selling some trade paperbacks. So yeah, we've been talking. I think they're still deciding on what to release and when to release it, but it's been pretty exciting to actually get it to be in the conversations and stuff.
Man, I bought Elf issues I already had.
By the way, if you didn't see the Nick Barucci interview, he pretty much laid out how much they offered for Transformers and G.I. Joe, and they were turned down. And when you find out how much they offered, it's like, holy crud. Like, I hope Skybound's getting their money out of it. Tell Nick to make OHC. Dude, that was their first book. I really want that to happen too.
It is Cosmos shop time.
It is. Man, you guys are good.
Yes.
All right, everybody. If you live in Canada, check out our Canadian sponsor, BD Cosmos, the Canadian leader in graphic novels. They have physical storefront in Montreal, Quebec, and their website is bdcosmos.com. 25% off your order of 99 Canadian dollars or more. Free shipping everywhere in Canada for every order of 200 Canadian dollars or more. But you email them, tell them to ship it together. You can wait until you get to that $200 mark. Let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. You're added to a monthly $25 gift card raffle. Entries are valid for new and returning customers. Uncanny Omar talk pretty one day. What is this place again, Melanie?
BD Cosmos, with rewards and raffles, taking care of customers in Canada. Hey, I'm channeling Jess Omnidog when I say that.
Please don't channel that man on my show.
Like, I don't know. I can't do it. Well, he was a announcer on a radio. Announcer on a radio.
Look, announcer on a radio.
He has a radio voice because he works in that.
Dom, do you know what a radio is?
Yes.
It's what people used to walk around in the 80s.
Awkwardly.
Hi, guys. Hope you're well. Here is a question that I don't have the answer to. But oh my gosh, I hope it does. Is Blood Hunt Red Band version getting collected? We saw the trade paperback, and the trade paperback does not include the Red Band. And if you're not familiar with that term, it is the blood and violence that is not printed in the regular version. As a matter of fact, it comes polybagged. So in the stream that we did on the Marvel books that are coming out, we were like, how are they going to publish this? Yeah. There's a Red Band version, right? With all the violence and the gore. Mm-hmm. And I think Lars said that it probably would not be collected, which really upsets me because I'm like, oh my gosh, he might be right. Because it would take, you're already printing a trade. And let's say an omnibus is coming out. Without a doubt, it's coming out, right? I'm not making an announcement. They've done so many events. They would have to print 2 different versions of that omnibus. They'd have to print the mature rated one and then the regular version. I think they're only going to do one version, which sucks, right? So the only way to exclusively get that is through a comic single issues.
Dang, James, look at this. Dom Vex's Blood Hunt Red Band Edition. Number 1, is it worth buying? Side-by-side comparison.
Dude, James, why the heck does he do this?
Magic.
He's connected to the internet. I don't think James is a real person. I think he's AI. He's AI, man. There's no way James is real.
A bunch of for loops all written in code, man.
Let's see. Any Marvel Gallery Editions announcements?
Yeah. They're still making them. Just because they're making the masterpieces doesn't mean that those are gone. They're still gonna make them.
Anything about Man of Steel Volume 4 reprint?
Nothing. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna email DC, knock on wood, again this week.
Tiger says, any feedback regarding the reprint or most wanted DC poll? Pretty sure I know the answer.
I know you do. But don't give up hope, man. Be a Blue Lantern. Don't be a Red Lantern. That should be a sticker. Hey, Bar, how's it going?
I want a chapter where you guys explain every single type, like trade paperback, flexi-bound, semi-soft, Omni Deluxe, collector's oversized. So many of them, but they are universally known.
Thank you. I did a video like that 4 years ago, I think. Maybe I need to update it because there's been so many different formats and so many discontinued formats too. Like the monster size books are gone. Marvel is like, we're never doing that again because bookstores hated it. They were like, where are we going to put these books? But they're cool. That's why artist editions are cool.
What if you could spend the day going on adventure with a Transformer?
What?
Who would it be?
Rodimus Prime. No, Hot Rod. Me and Hot Rod. Get out of the way, Daniel. Me and Hot Rod going fishing.
You go fishing.
And by fishing, I mean fighting crime. He's the coolest car in Transformers. Him and Trax. But I always hated the way Trax sounded like a graduate from Harvard University. I'd rather be in my fabulous auto mode. Oh my gosh, I hated his voice. But Hot Rod, final answer. Judd Nelson's Hot Rod.
I picked Optimus Prime because it would be like hanging out with his voice actor.
Peter Cullen?
Yeah.
Which we interviewed twice.
I would like to hang out with Peter Cullen, so I think Optimus Prime. Even though Starscream's my favorite. No, I'm going to go hang out with him.
Starscream would betray you inevitably.
He would squish me. What about you? Do you have an answer, Dom?
Yeah, no, I would go with Starscream just to betray Megatron, also knowing that I'd probably get my back stabbed in the process as well.
Well, Godspeed, Dom.
Wow, Godspeed even.
Gotta be a double agent to be a double agent.
When will the New Republic Volume 2 Omnibus, aka Dark Empire, I love that it's Dark Empire Omnibus, get an overview? Actually, Dom has that schedule because we worked on it together. You remember when we decided to do that?
It's a great question. Let me go pull up the calendar.
Hang out with Optimus Prime and get him to read my Omnibus. Oh, he does have a good voice. And on top of that, you get him to voice Ironhide because he was also the voice for Ironhide. Read, Prime.
No, Varg loved the solo episode tracks though.
Oh, with Raul? Raul, get in my car. Oh my
Maybe it would be
gosh.
Whirl.
Wheelie is the best. What? No, Saturday. Dude, if I could hang out with Hot Rod, I'd have him shoot Wheelie because I hate that character.
You want to hang out with a Perceptor.
Oh, I hate Perceptor even more. Oh man, he turns into a telescope. Who wants to hang out with a telescope? No, not even a telescope, a microscope. Any reading order ideas? What's been the hardest one so far? The one that took the wind out of me, no joke, was the X-Men one, because X-Men fans, we're crazy. And we don't want to miss anything, so it's difficult. I think it's due out not this coming week, because this week is ROM and Punisher Max this Monday.
It's the 17th, Omar, is what we have it for.
Okay, so it'll be the next week, brother, next Monday.
Next Monday for what? Just as a reminder.
Oh, the review of the Star Wars New Republic Omnibus Volume 2, which I'm really excited to talk about.
Thank you, Maxima, for the super chat. Do you think we'll ever see trade paperback reprints of the original black and white Savage Sword of Conan run in the future?
If we are going to get them, it would be done by Titan now, who owns the rights to printing them. Yeah. And what's the latest on the Conan? No, you're not being a pester, man.
And thank you for the super chat.
You're a collector and a fan, and you've been waiting for these books to come out. I have too, and I'll be honest with you, so has Titan. But there were issues happening behind the scenes that I have to choose my words wisely, that were out of their control. Keep in mind, this isn't just a Titan product, it's also a Heroic Signatures product. So Heroic Signatures are the people that own the rights to Robert E. Howard's property, like Conan. So it's a Titan and Heroic Signatures collaboration. So knock on wood, I just read an email earlier that they have been postponed. I think the latest delay was September, and they hope that there is no more delays. And yes, they have to go ahead and announce future releases to get people excited, to get the bookstores to order them too. Hopefully. No love for Grimlock. Oh, Grimlock's awesome. King Grimlock.
I just bought the complete Peanuts 83 to 86 for $450 US. Please tell me it's not going back into print anytime soon.
You bought the box set? First of all, that's whatever people decide to do with their money, it is up to them. If you've got it and you want something really bad, that's your business. I haven't heard of reprints of those. Those reprints, like, they don't do them as much as they do the Duck Book reprints. Those reprints are very scarce. That's Fantagraphics. Oh, Fantagraphics. Okay. My buddy Ray actually completed my set for me because I was missing one more box set, and 2 years ago he gifted me my final box set that I needed. So I was also on the lookout for some of those, and I know how expensive they get. But if it makes you feel a little bit better, those rarely get reprints. At one time, this is crazy, Fantagraphics was actually selling the boxes without the books for people that had missed out on the box sets. This was years ago. This was 10 years ago. I don't think they've done that since.
Any news on next year's Incal box set?
Nothing yet, but I am going to be reaching out to Humanoids. They asked me to talk about their Kickstarter they're doing, and they're trying to work things out to give me more information, because it looks like an awesome book.
Hey, Matt. Do you think we might ever see a Wildcats Aliens reprint?
Oh, anything is possible. Yeah. I just don't know when. Absolutely, buddy.
Japan Manga Library has every volume of the Peanuts set. Yeah, I remember last year. I
don't have the Sunday comics.
We were in the mall and in Japan, and there was a whole Peanuts not event, but just like yes, but also like I even took one of the little like advertising papers and put it in my classroom because it was so cute with Lucy and
well, I mean, if you think about it, like, we have a fascination with Hello Kitty. And I don't mean me or Dom. I don't know. Maybe Dom. We have a fascination. Fascination here in the States with Hello Kitty. I feel like that's a lot that was happening there too. Like a store dedicated to Peanuts. I think it's cool. They do have a lot of memorable characters. It was a box set. I have 4 more left to collect. I started collecting when I first saw them in your room.
That's your fault.
It's my fault. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that. But I'm glad that you're finally getting them. And
Oh, I remember. What was his name?
that was what was his name? He hated Maddie. He loved Amanda. He hated me. Leo.
Leo.
Read my
Q. He really had opinion about me.
You were indifferent to him. You were non-existent to Leo. That kid was awesome.
Oh man!
Did any of you read Wolverine versus Predator trade? Sounds like it was. I liked it. It's just going through the different times that Wolverine has fought the Predator, because Wolverine has lived for a long time, and they fought apparently many times. He just forgot about it, and that's it. It's that plot, but it worked, right? Did you like it, Dom? Did you read it?
I did.
Yeah,
worked for me. It was a fun ride, even if a bit formulaic and regular, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, sometimes those are really fun. Richard, we did answer. Dom answered.
What did Dom say, Melanie?
Before.
Oh, you got lucky.
No, he just said it.
He
So
just said you got lucky.
he was going like this. So, Superior Foes Spider-Man, would that go in between? It would go for Spencer's. By the way, I recently discovered this comic strip, For Better for Worse, and now I want to own them, but the first few books are out of print.
Shout out to who, Melanie? Curtis Finley.
Our buddy worked on that. Worked on restoring the colors for Better or for Worse, and it's a really good comic strip.
Yeah, and unfortunately, those are part of the the Library of American Comics. Like, those hardly get reprints, unfortunately. And a lot of their comic strips that they've released, like the hardcovers, don't. But they do come out with trade paperbacks. I know. That doesn't make you feel any better. It's not the same, but at least you get that.
Joel, I really liked the first trade.
I like the first trade.
Captain America. I did a video on it about, I think it's a good book to raise your spirits, because it's Captain America and he's just a good guy and he's helping people, and I really liked it. I did. So I did. I highly recommend it. Or Joel, have you read it? Did you like it? And John, thank you for the super chat.
Oh, come on.
Cyberbots versus Constructicons versus Lion Voltron. Whoa.
You just have to throw Lion Voltron. All right. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's think logically about this, okay? Logically, Lion Voltron is controlled by humanoids, right? Humans. So Grimlock would just have to eat the humans and no more Lion Voltron. So round 1 goes to Grimlock. The Constructicons have fought the Dinobots in the past and have always lost. Even in the comics. Dinobots. Maximum, what was it called? Maximum Overdrive? Yeah.
Wins.
No, not if he eats the little humans first. Yes, Limebot is taller. Size doesn't matter when it comes to Dinobots kicking butt, though. Voltron kills Grimlock with blazing sword. Oh my gosh, what's with all this Team Linebot?
Well, that's a good point.
What? That doesn't make any sense. See, the Dinobots weren't scared of Unicron. They went through his eyeball to kick his butt. Like,
that's true.
The Dinobots literally kicked his butt. Like, they were on his hind end, smashing and eating away at his butt. That's how bad they are. Please don't take that out of context. I'm a few issues into the Cap book and love the art. That's it.
Good.
Jesus says.
Yeah, he's solid. I like his art.
Happy Saturday, Melanie, Omar, Manny, Joe. Did you proud over your new reader, Judge Dredd America?
I got your email this morning, buddy, and I promised to email you back. I'm so behind on emails.
And Dom, thanks for your work on the comic.
Thank you for the appreciation.
There was a question for Dom a little bit earlier. Blazing Sword Custom.
What was your? No, here you read it. Sorry, you read it.
Me or Dom?
No, Dom.
Okay, Dom, you read it.
What was your first comic you remember reading? Yeah, Green Lantern's Nesher Corps Special, one shot number 1.
Shout out to the study hall teachers who also want to get people in the comics.
Simpsons Illustrated.
You guys do good work.
Yeah, teachers are very important to the whole reading.
Oh, I love this one student. She wanted to read Spider-Man, and then I was like, are you done? I need it back, right? I don't want to forget about it. But she get it out on her desk. It's study hall. and she just sit there on her phone. And I was like, "Are you gonna read it? You got it like more than once to get it out." And I was like, "Here, why don't you just give it back?" But she read some of it, I
The
suppose.
Voltron team loses the train. I love this division, man. I didn't say out. Do not put words in my mouth.
Iron Giant crushed Dinobots. But Iron Giant chooses not to be a gun.
Dude, Iron Giant couldn't even make it to the end of his movie. So no, automatic lose. Sorry.
Oh.
And he's voiced by Vin Diesel. All about family.
Thank you for the super chat. Do you think Alien vs. Predator will get an Omni?
Oh, I certainly hope so. I hope so. Because I want those stories collected. What did I Mary, don't take the things I say out of context. We were talking about
Mary's gonna be on Jess's show at 1:00 today.
Oh, that's awesome. Mary is good people. I love Mary. So she gets a pass.
Photography.
Hey, Joaquin.
Photographing a wedding. Hope y'all are well. Oh, I hope you have fun.
Can you read that word again? Photography. You're the English major. You have a master's in English.
Photography.
And to some of these people, they really believe you taught me English, and you're saying photography. Okay.
My teacher in the 80s took my comics and never gave them back to me for reading in class. Shame on kids for reading in class.
Your teacher has your comics and she just got them graded.
This one kid though, she was an addicted fellow. She was addicted to reading to the point of like she wasn't doing her work, so I did take my books. I was like, you got to do your work first, then you can.
How's your library list coming along? Have you been to your PO box lately? I didn't get to go out to
not this week.
So a little bit just behind the scenes. My dad's had a procedure done, and that's why I didn't do any trade paperbacks this week because I was with him in the hospital, and it was a very stressful. Like it's a high risk procedure because of his age and his heart. And when that's happening in my life, I can't focus. I couldn't even edit. I was like, I'm just going to use a backup video. I think it was Booster Gold. And that kind of took away a chunk of my week. And then I did get to film my library video, and Dom actually made the thumbnail for me. That comes out on this Wednesday. And then next Sunday, not tomorrow, but next Sunday at 2:30 is when I'm getting a panel together to curate this list of 10 books that belong in every public library. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. And let me tell you, it was difficult to come up with 10 books. Like I had to take myself out of the equation and going like, I don't think it belongs on my list, but certainly in a list of public library. So
let's see. Do you know if all the Treehouse of Horror issues of The Simpsons are being collected in the 3 omnibus hardcovers from Abrams, or will there be more volumes?
I didn't keep up with Simpsons. Somebody in the chat was. I didn't keep up with Simpsons comics, but they're doing a great job. They're doing 3 books. That's crazy. And they're beautiful books, too. Beautiful books.
My teacher took Iron Man 225 away from me in 5th grade. They wrote my name on it in Sharpie. Wait. And they gave it back to you?
They gave it back to you? They signed your book?
You guys go to New York Comic Con again, you should do a meetup. Oh yeah, we need to apply for press passes.
Yeah, we're gonna be applying for press passes. Yeah. Oh, thank you all. Thank you for the thoughts about that. He's doing okay. He's a tough guy. He's 79 years old. He's still kicking. He's had to deal with a lot of things in his life. So he's a tough dude. I think Dom should start making videos for the channel, especially over. I agree with that. Maybe one coming soon.
Dom, what are your top 5 all-time favorite comics?
Ooh. Oh, welcome to the party, pal.
Let's go. Putting me on the spot. I think I have. So House of X Powers of 10, the whole series is probably my number 1 just because it got me into Marvel overall.
Mm-hmm.
Also got me into Hickman and the X-Men. And I definitely wouldn't be who I am today without that book. So that'd probably be number 1. Number 2 is, gosh, there is so much. I think I would just have the entirety of Hickman's Fantastic Four as my number 2. Fantastic Four and
top 2 Hickman.
Yeah, Future Foundation. Just because I love the family dynamics, I love the high sci-fi. So that's probably number 2. Number 3 is All-Star Superman. I love Grant Morrison. I love Frank Quietly, and I love what that book speaks to me about, like who Superman is as a person and why his spirit's just so important to the DC universe and also for him as a character.
Aw, that's good.
4 Definitely the Green Lantern run by Jeff Johns, just because, again, as a kid, I love that series and I still love it. I love the world building and exploration. And number 5, Captain America Winter Soldier by Ed Brubaker and Steve Epting. I love the twist. I love the retcon. And I love Cap. So
there was a time in comics, everybody at the comic book store would be like, oh man, that dude is Bucky dead. That term no longer applies. Like we used to say Bucky dead. Have you read East of West, Dom?
I have. I've read it multiple times.
Wow. We did a book club on it. And what happened is I'm like, I want to know what happens, but I don't want to actually read it. I came downstairs and I took volumes 2 and 3 and I flipped through it. I'm like, okay, what? Just to see what happened.
Can you imagine one of your kids doing that in school?
It's not bad. It's not bad. It just wasn't for me.
Doing that with To Kill a Mockingbird. I don't care about these characters. Let's see what happens at the end.
Quit judging me.
I'm not judging you.
Yes, you are.
I don't do that anymore.
You were right. James, East of West Volume 1 is not the best. Wait, do you think it gets better, Dom, as you go into 2?
Oh yeah, no, it 100% peaks as you continue along in that series.
None of the characters really spoke to me except for, well, wait, this sounds bad to say speaks to me, the evil Colonel Sanders. He didn't speak to me. I just thought he was the most interesting.
Am I awake? Joshua, you are now, buddy. You just walked into East of West To Kill a Mockingbird conversation.
Thank you for the super chat. Is that a reference to something in the past?
Am I
awake? Yeah.
Maybe. I missed the last
2 deluxes of East of West.
I'm sure that will come back to print, honestly.
Oh, Roberta says East of West is Hickman's best work. Oh, and Sean,
they're good. I really like
them. I praise. I mean, I love East of West too. So,
all hell, evil Colonel Sanders.
I think I appreciate characters more than world building. Like, just my personal preference.
That's okay to be wrong.
Yeah. What? You jerk.
You agreed. You said yeah.
Wait, what did you say? I still haven't backed the G.I. Joe thing. It's us $2 million. Whoa. Omar, when is your interview with the editor?
Alex is joining me on Thursday, I think. Hold on a second. 4 p.m. No, I'm sorry. 6:15 this Thursday, June 13th. So at 6:15, he'll be joining me to talk about. I just want, I want to clarify for people like the paper stock and all that. And when we have the guy designing the books here, who better to answer all the questions? So, yes. Hey, Tyler, how are you, buddy? I'm sorry. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Batman, but I still love you. East of West was my first Image series, and I hope they print a compendium. I'm surprised they haven't yet. But, when Hickman gets involved, he's specific about the way things have to be reprinted.
Hi, Omar. I recently discovered your channel in around February, and you've inspired me to start my own collection. I'm at around 5 Omnis with 2 more on the way. Much love. Keep up the great videos.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Axel.
Thank you. Don't get crazy, but, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Read those books, too. Read those books.
That's the most important thing. You will have more enjoyment when you actually open up the book and delve yourself into this world of fantasy or whatever you might be in instead of, oh, I got this cool book. It looks cool on the shelf. There's a lot more enjoyment when you read them.
And the other thing to remind yourself, too, is you're going to find people that are like, oh, why did you buy that? What a waste of money, or that was trash. Everybody has a difference of opinion, right? What matters is if you end up enjoying something and you just keep that and proudly put it on your shelf, just like my Avengers: The Crossing. I think I've found 2 people that like that besides me.
Is Clark Kent's favorite book To Kill a Mockingbird?
Did that just melt your heart?
Yay! Oh, okay. And on that note, it's Walt's comic book.
What are you saying? Omar also inspired me to start my own collection many moons ago at this point. And it's worth it. You're still here, Tyler. That's great. So this portion of the Saturday morning stream is brought to you by Walt's Comic Shop. They're based out of Berlin, Germany. They have a storefront, but it's closed right now because they're focusing on online sales. Flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries. Bulletproof packaging. All emails answered within 24 hours. And if you tell them that Near Mint Condition sent you their way, you get you put Near Mint Condition at the checkout. I'm sorry, all one word. You get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order of over €40 or more. and they have a monthly book deal. So like a big book deal is what they have every month. And this particular month, they have, let me make sure I got them right, Woods, the Deluxe Edition hardcover, Slipcase Edition by James Tynion. That is 81 euros and 99 cents. Savage Dragon Vault Edition hardcover, 99 euros. Batman Bruce Wayne Murder Turned Fugitive Omnibus, 81 euros and 99 cents. And then Secret Wars by Jonathan Hickman Omnibus. All 3 covers, your choice, 69 euros and 99 cents. And that is Walt's Comic Shop.
Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions. In your ting, ting, ting. Here come the tings.
Here comes the yes, you could. What's up, Jaggernaut? How you doing, buddy? Wait. Let Dom read that.
Oh, sorry. Here you go.
Kamusta pare Dom? Mabuhay minties. Mabuhay sa ikaw din, man. Hope you're doing well.
Oh, look at that. I love that. That's awesome.
Omni and Dom, I'm currently reading One Piece, Finland Saga, and Slam Dunk. I'm on chapter 954, I think, on One Piece.
Oh, bless you.
I'm loving it so much that I struggle picking which one to read at a given time. Have you ever had this problem?
Yes.
I keep thinking about stopping One Piece and reading Chainsaw Man, but I just keep going with One Piece. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get caught up to current.
But it won't take you long to read Chainsaw Man.
And I have to read on the phone.
First world problems. Oh, man, I gotta read on the phone. It's awful.
And Omar's like, oh, buy it. We'll just buy them. I'm like, no, you're going to buy the box set when it comes out. There's no point. I'll just read them on my phone. But then I'll complain about it.
Every time. Yeah, I've had that happen before. Like, either like when the weekly trade paperbacks, I'm like, oh, I haven't read this, but I haven't reread this in years. Oh, I want to reread this. And single issues. I remember I used to sort I don't know if anybody else does this, but I used to sort my single issues by priority. Like I'd read the one I'm not looking forward to reading at the top, and then get to the good stuff.
Oh no, I'm opposite.
Because I would lose my.
I felt like in ECS, I was like, I would read Cable first out of my pools.
I think in the middle somewhere, I would put something that I'm really looking forward to too. Have a spectacular day, everyone. Homework for the day is to read at least 50 comic pages. Oh, you all got that.
That's 1.5 issues. You should be knocking that out in no time.
Don't judge people.
What helps me though is I only read One Piece when I eat, and I've got a list on my phone, and now I've got a place in the living room for American comics. Like I've been jumping back and forth between those. I still haven't finished all my single issues. But yeah, that really helps. If I'm eating, I read One Piece. So it's just what I do.
What's your favorite One Piece arc so far, Melanie?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me come back to it, because I'm in Wano right now, and it's not my favorite. So let me come back to which one's my favorite.
Wano is just like long.
Yeah,
I like Water 7. Phenomenal AC. Omar, any idea when we'll get an Uncanny X-Men 6? No, sir. No. Not yet.
Your favorite arc is Alabasta? Really? No, that's not that either. I need to look at the list of the arcs.
Here, how about you let me have this for a second. Dom, you can also pick comments.
I can.
That's right. Isn't a One Piece swimming wear? No, but you wouldn't want that when Nami and Nico Robin are around. Or Boa Hancock. Goodness. The arc on One Piece keeps getting longer and longer post-time skip. What? Las Vegas opened up a One Piece cafe?
Oh, that's cool.
I need to go to that.
That's all. Are you near Vegas, Dom?
I mean, I'm only like a 5-6 hour drive away from it. And
that's freaking awesome.
Yeah. So I would not mind. I want to go badly there this summer. I was supposed to go to Vegas in May because my buddies did a fantasy football draft there. But I didn't get to go because I was graduating. So it is what it is.
Do you have any contacts at Image Comics that can put an East to West compendium into work? Image Comics is a different beast because they work with different, like, not publishers, but different companies within the company. So you've got like Skybound, you've got Top Cow. Oh my gosh, what was it? The Giant Generator,
and now Ghost Machine.
Ghost Machine, and I'm trying to think of a couple of others that are just independently putting their books out there. So it's like you have to have a contact within the contact to even have, like, I have contacts at Top Cow. I've got contacts at McFarlane, which hardly ever get back to me, I think, because they just keep, they're focusing on toys. I get it. That's what sells the most. And I have contacts at Skybound. But I don't even, East to West is a Hickman thing, right? I think it would just be a Hickman thing.
Aw.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Phenomenal AC.
My answer is the Summit War Saga is my favorite arc because I really like Impel Down.
Oh, Impel Down's awesome, but because it reminded me of Prison Break.
I love Mr. Bon Clay.
Like they go in there to get him out of prison.
Bad guy.
Oh, Bon Clay's awesome in that
that's
arc. That dude is hilarious. Hey, Omni and Dom, any of you seen the Frank Miller documentary? They're showing it in Cinemark theaters for one night only.
Oh, and it's at Monday. That's what somebody said earlier.
Filmed intro with Miller and Rosario Dawson. Dang, one night only. We're gonna be seeing Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings Monday night. Return of the King.
So I guess I'll have to wait.
I might tailor because there is a Cinemark theater that's about 30 minutes away from me, but the problem is I don't have anyone to watch it with, and I usually like bringing along one or a couple of my friends to watch stuff with me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I saw Digimon the movie in theaters by myself at college. It was kind of fun.
I think I've gotten into the age where I'm okay going to the theater by myself. I would go like during your Christmas Day. I love going to the theater. Where can I find info in Hickman's Secret Warriors original 60 issues run? There is an omnibus of Secret Warriors that is out. And I'm not sure what info are you looking for. And somebody said, what is the best?
That's what somebody said earlier, Summoner. It was Monday.
Somebody asked for the best Omni for beginners.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you answer first? What's the best omnibus for beginners, Melanie?
Dom, what do you think?
Way to pat the buck.
You know what? Just because we talked about it not too long ago on the Batman Evergreen stream, I think Batman by Scott Snyder Volume 1 is a pretty good introduction to the character and also just why comics are cool in general. You also get amazing Greg Capullo art. So you get a bunch of great worlds all colliding together wonderfully.
Daredevil by Zdarsky. Is it out yet? It's not out yet.
Not yet.
But that'd be good.
It also got delayed too. I talked about it on my channel a couple of days ago, but Volume 1 did get pushed back from July the 9th to July the 23rd.
Hope there's no more delays with that one. I'm gonna go against my beliefs. I'm gonna go with Justice League by Jeff Johns and Jim Lee.
I mean, that was my intro to the Justice League. So
yeah, seriously, like it's not my favorite run by any means. It's not my favorite work by Jeff Johns, but it's easy to get into those characters that way. So yeah, I would go with that. If you want something classy, I would go with Avengers by Kurt Busiek and George Perez. Like if that classy feel.
Something classy.
Yeah, well, it does. It has like a classy feel to it, like a old school Silver Age storytelling.
Well, I am reading JLA Avengers. I think it's going to take me a little while.
What? Wait, go ahead. Wait, what do you not like about it?
It's just going to take me a little while. It's
how many times are you going to crush my soul? Starman, Blade of the Immortal.
I'm trying to appreciate the old school superhero story, even though it's not. It's 2005 something.
2004,
but I don't know. I'm giving it a chance.
Giving it a chance. One of the most wanted reprints of all time. Melanie's just sitting there with my absolute edition. Viva Peru, carajo! I heard the author who wrote The Talented Mr. Ripley also wrote comics as well.
Oh.
Who wrote The Talented Mr. Ripley, Melanie?
Thank you, Jack Perry, for the super chat. No say.
That's his name? No say?
No.
The Talented Mr. Ripley. Talented Mr. Ripley. Dom, do you know who wrote The Talented Mr. Ripley?
I have no idea, Omar.
Okay, yeah, me neither. Who the heck wrote it? Best Omni for beginners. Wade and Ringo's Fantastic Four, blend of old. Yeah, I like that.
Good answer.
That's a good one too. I don't know who wrote The Talented Mr. Ripley. Peru means pure in scramble words. Oh, thank you for that.
Am I crazy to think that Daredevil Born Again is better than first Miller run?
No, a lot of people agree that is the best Daredevil run.
Trouble.
Including Chip Zdarsky.
Chip Zdarsky's favorite run is Anna Sensi's run. That was his favorite run of Daredevil. Who the heck wrote The Talented Mr. Ripley?
Because he got starstruck
Patricia
interviewing her.
1921 to 1995.
And I didn't get into Invisibles either. But you said it gets better as you go along.
Oh yeah, dude, that is no, Doug, no, that's a wrong answer. Like you don't want
You're
that
introducing kids to drugs, Omar. I wouldn't like. I love Invisibles, the man.
Oh,
I was thinking Invincibles.
She did write.
Invincibles.
She wrote comic books, published Ned Pines in a Bullpen. Dude, I did not know that.
Patricia Highsmith?
Mm-hmm. She wrote for Timely Comics too. Real life comic series and Captain Midnight, Western Comics. Dude, that's awesome. I had no idea.
Comic Slayer saying Flung Out of Space by Patricia Highsmith is good.
I will take her word for it because she's into a lot of good books. She balances out that Omnidog show. She recommends good reading and just recommends Legion of Superheroes.
Ooh, excuse me. Dork, what's good, y'all? Wait before 1 p.m. and waiting for FedEx to show up with Amazing Spider-Man by Spencer Volume 2. It's a good day. It's a good day.
Which cover did you get, Dork?
She wrote The Destroyer, the Golden Age stuff. There is an excellent comic graphic novel bio by Highsmith by Grace Ellis. She went in a date with Stan Lee. Man, look at all this.
Wow.
Comic history. What Omni should I start with as a new reader who wants to get into X-Men? All right, Dom.
We also did I would try to get Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 just because it kicks off that long, amazing 16-year run by Chris Claremont. I would also, it's not an Omni, and I believe the hardcover is very much well out of print, but if you're looking for something more modern, I would suggest the House of X Powers of 10 trade paperback by Jonathan Hickman, which gets you into where we are nowadays.
What about you, Melanie?
And Astonishing, but it's out of print, right?
Astonishing is great. Astonishing is
out
great.
Of print? I remember you saying that last
time. It is out of print right now. Yeah, I think Uncanny 3 or Uncanny 1. Omar don't like Omnidog. I love Omnidog. But much like my friend, we got to give each other crud. Otherwise, what kind of friendship is that if you don't? You're very welcome. Phoenix Omnibus Volume 1, ban James right now.
The Gleason direct market cover.
Oh, of course. That cover's awesome.
I have a funny story with that. I have the issue, like the actual Spider-Man issue, at the issue 55 of the variant where he draws it, but a customer at our shop gave me a 9.8 graded copy to me.
Wow.
For a Christmas gift right before, like, it was like 6 days before it was my last day at the comic shop. So,
well, that's awesome, dude.
Aww. They were talking about this in the chat earlier. We just never had time to get to it about the misprint in Spider-Man by Spencer Volume 2.
So there is a page in issue 49, and I'll be honest, I didn't like. I had the trade paperbacks, and that's how I read them. So I didn't even notice the misprint. Somebody had emailed me a couple of days ago, and then I said, I gotta make sure it's in every copy. And then a couple more people emailed me, and then Final Shadow tagged me on our Discord. So I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and reach out to Marvel then, let them know. I don't think, much like the misprints in Silver Surfer or Daredevil Volume 1 reprint, they're gonna do anything about it because there's no way to recall it. It's already been shipped out and stuff. But I at least wanted to let them know.
Was it the reason you got out of comics because Onslaught was impossible to top?
Yeah, that was it. Love you guys. Thor Simonson. Oh gosh.
Super chat.
Oh my gosh.
Go. Look how cute that is. You get the cute one.
Is that the Mighty Event? What was it called?
I can't remember.
Superhero Squad. I can't remember that show's name.
Thor Simonson or Wade Waringo.
Oh, this is tough. Oh man, if I had to choose one, those are both my favorite. That is my favorite run on Thor, and that is my favorite run on the Fantastic Four. Okay. So let's balance. Okay, let's see. Thor has new colors, has modern colors. Fantastic Four has the original colors, which of course was in the early aughts. There are moments I had manly eye sweat in Thor with Scourge. Oh, that's such a good story. That's such a manly way to go. And Fantastic Four also hit me in the feels. Oh, dang it, man. Beta Ray Bill is such an awesome...
Think family.
Yeah, Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four. I got to go with that one. It's Marvel's first family, and it touches like every bit of the characters that I enjoyed. Each one of the characters has a great arc that represents them. But if you can afford both of them, go ahead and get both of them because they're both great, man.
I've never read Fantastic Four until this week, and I read Ryan North's first trade, and I liked it. So I'm gonna read the second one.
Mark Waid's Fantastic Four made me a fan of Mr. Fantastic. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
I'm not the biggest fan.
which is tough to do because within the first issue, when he's talking to Valeria, like oh my gosh, the character breakdown in that issue is amazing, and you find out why he does the thing he does for the sake of the family. Like, it's good. Oh, it's so good.
Should I make this a poll? Should Juggernaut? Which one should
actually make that a poll? That's a good idea. We're gonna let Juggernaut. We're gonna let the audience decide for you. So you gotta go here.
So
Dom, you can pick some questions.
You pick some questions, please.
Let's go.
Please. Let's go.
All
so
right.
Go which
Spider-Man 2099 Omnibus 1, a good volume to start for beginners from Juan Garcia.
If you want to know about the character, absolutely. It is his I got you. Thor by Simonson or FF. Oh, okay. It's the origin of Miguel. It's so disconnected from the ongoing Marvel universe that it's its own thing. What do you think, Dom?
No, I would agree. I mean, I remember me like recommending that original Peter David run to a friend who watched the second Spider-Verse movie. He had never read comics before. So he got the volume 1 out of Jump and absolutely loved it. And he hadn't read a comic before. Like, that was his first. So I would say so for sure.
I.e.
Let's see.
There you go. I.
Baby. Here, you type it.
Okay.
I've heard good things about Ryan North's Fantastic Four, Omar, Melanie, and Dom. How do you guys like the run if you've read it?
Yeah, so I just read the first trade. Omar just gushed about the first trade. In fact, I already have one of the stories spoiled in the second trade for me. I know what's going to happen because he was talking to me about it. But I'm definitely going to read the second trade. I like the art. I like the characterization. I like the pacing. One of the issues remind me of a Doctor Who episode, which I love Doctor Who. Have you read Ryan North's?
Yeah, no, I've read a couple of issues because one of my friends told me that they were like trying like 1-2 off stories like within the arc.
That was really cool.
There was a noir one drawn by Carlos Gomez, and I really, really enjoyed it. So,
this trade is it in the second or third, or
it should be in the third volume.
Oh.
Any recommendations for some crime noir comics that aren't Brubaker? Absolutely. If you have not read Juan Diaz's oh my gosh,
don't do that.
Cat, anthropomorphic cat. Why did my brain just stop working? Black Sad. That's it. If you haven't read Black Sad, do yourself a favor and go and read it. It is amazing. And I know, there are people that are like, oh, it's an anthropomorphic animal. This is stupid. It's not. It is brilliant. It is amazing. It's not Zootopia. And not that there's anything wrong with Zootopia. It is freaking amazing.
Tenet. Oh, man. I had that poster on my wall back in the day when I was teaching. He's biting his thumb.
Yeah,
some kid making fun of it. It's like, I can't say he's sexy because I just felt uncomfortable with saying that. That's weird.
Straight Bullets is another one.
Good. Stop making fun of him. I love Tenet.
That's a good one.
Oh, but you know where we have a deal. We hear the
TARDIS.
Oh, that's horrible. Dom, can you do a TARDIS sound?
Yeah, Dom.
I can't do it. No.
Melanie's putting you on the spot.
Sound like a cat.
I can't. I would if I could do it.
Well, if we hear it, we kill each other because we're not sharing the doctor, even if it's not Tenet. Whatever doctor, we're not.
Okay, you're revealing way too much out of context. So. Do you think we'll ever get a Spider-Woman Jessica Drew omnibus? 100% we will. All this stuff has been masterworked, so yeah, it is due time. Thor by Simonson is the greatest Thor story ever. FF by Wade was one of the greatest FF advantage. Thor.
We'll leave the poll up for another minute.
Oh no, leave it up for 5 minutes. Let the people that are trickling in, if you're just now joining, you all get to spend Jaegernaut's money.
Anthropomorphic rabbits that are in love with.
Oh yeah, see, yeah. But dude, I do have viewers that they're like, this is.
Rabbit was my first.
I can't take any of these stories seriously. Is what I remember. I did an overview of Usagi Yojimbo, and they were like, I know you like it. It just doesn't it doesn't affect me the same way. I need like human beings in my story. And I'm like, you're missing out on so much good stuff. It's the same people, like, there are people that can't read manga. There are people that can't read European comics. There are people that can't read black and white comics. And I feel like, there's always something you're missing. Or trade paperbacks. There are people that don't like trades.
Kenneth is saying, other than Batman's rogues, who is your favorite comic book rogues gallery of villains? It's going to be Green Lantern. Mine are Superman's and the Flashes. I meant Flash. I didn't mean Green Lantern.
Flash. Spider-Man's are up there. But Flash. Spider-Man's got some great rogues, but Flash.
What about you, Dom?
It's a good question.
Mega
Man, yeah.
I really like Daredevil's rogues gallery, but that's also probably because I'm a Daredevil fan, but I mean, objectively, it's probably bad. But yeah, Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man's got amazing villains. Superman's a super underrated, though. Like, I know, like, people just want to talk about Lex Luthor, but he's also got some pretty good heavy hitters.
Depending on the writer, I think. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Yeah.
Where's Cerebus at? I've been waiting.
I stopped reading Cerebus at about issue 150, and I never continued. And I know they're reprinting the trade paperbacks. And my buddy Jess Omnidog told me that eventually what ended up happening was Dave Sims was writing a lot of himself into the book and his thoughts on, like, he told me it was like thoughts on women. Apparently it was really, really sexist. I don't know. I haven't read the stuff past issue 150 was the last one I remember reading. So I don't know if it got good. I don't know if it got bad. And that's where Cerebus is with me. I haven't picked up any of the trades because when I was coming back to this, they were just trades and I wanted hardcovers and I never went back to read them. It's a good question here.
Dom, I'm loving your take on comics. Would love to hear your take on current Superman by Williamson. Williamson's Superman is very much reminiscent of the 90s animated series show for me, which is not a bad thing at all because it is very, very fun. Jamal Campbell supplies the art for the first arc and some change. He's been off the book for a while, but the art in it is fantastic. There is a 1-2 cowboy offshot arc that I wish was a little bit longer because we got some really, really cool covers there as well. But it is a fun series. It's not my favorite Superman for sure, but it definitely does bring a lot of the spark and love that the character needs to have, the lightheartedness, the tone, everything else. And Lois Lane's brand new status quo is also pretty awesome. So I think you should pick it up just for that.
Wow, what an answer. What an answer. I love that. I was watching some really old New Mint Condition videos and found Melanie had some really short hair. Now it's completely different.
Color.
You did go through that.
Charmander color.
Charmander.
Is it
Omar? Melanie, do you sorry, go ahead, Dom.
I was gonna ask Omar if there's any way I could go back to a question that sparked my interest, but
yeah, go ahead, click on something, man.
All right. So this is from Saturday Morning Fan. So 80th anniversary of D-Day. So 80th year anniversary, best war comic story. What is your guys' best favorite member of the Invaders?
Invaders, I would go with Union Jack, the second Union Jack. I love that character. Freaking awesome. Best war comic. There's Tardy's GD This War. That is a masterpiece. Mm-hmm. A masterpiece. It's brutal. It's real. Yeah, loved it, man. It's good. Yeah, Union Jack. What's up, Doug? That's what's up, man. Union Jack. Guy, where's that flag with? Yes, that's what I was gonna say. With pride, baby. Where's that Union Jack flag? I love that dude. Dom, what about you, my friend?
Our favorite member of the Invaders, probably Namor, just because of the X-Men soliloquies. But favorite war story. So my like My fascination with war stories actually comes from a recommendation my friend gave me. He told me, "Hey, Garth Ennis writes some pretty good war stories, and you should check them out." I was like, "Wait, Garth Ennis has written?" And I'm like, he did, and he said, "Yeah, he does. You should check one out." There was one particular called the D-Day Dodgers, which I believe is collected in the first volume of Ennis's war stories, which covers the soldiers who were sent off to the Italian campaign in
Mhm.
World War II because they didn't want to storm the beaches of D-Day. And I think one thing that most people don't know is that that the Allies fought in Italy for a gruesome 2-year campaign that is very much overshadowed by the rest of the Eastern Theater. And it's a great outlook to how brutal that campaign was and how many people just didn't want to fight in it just because it was so tiring and gruesome.
I will say that Ennis and I bonded when I interviewed him over the amount of information and history that we learned through comics. So he learned a lot of historical, like especially about war, through war comics as they were coming out over there. And I was telling him, yeah, if it wasn't for comics, like it's before the internet. And I know it's crazy that there was a world before the internet, but through comics, I learned like about the whole, the whole, the Viet Cong thing, the Vietnam and I had friends from Vietnam later on in life that we talk about it. And I'm like, yeah, I learned that from, believe it or not, a comic book by Chris Claremont. And it's really interesting that he's still learning things about war. So every project he works on. Have you read the Eagle, the Lion, and the
Yes.
That was awesome. That almost made it in my top 10 last year. Charlie's War is excellent, by the way. And he did so much research for that too. But there's a lot of good choices. Oh, did you end the poll?
No.
Oh, okay.
You didn't tell me. You said to keep it going.
Okay, yeah. Let's end the poll. See what people chose for Jaggernaut to buy.
It was.
And,
Yeah.
Then I'll get to the start.
Yeah, not many people know much about the Italian campaign. The story that I would like to hark on the most is that the general who led the Allies in Italy, General Mark Clark, wanted to get into Rome and be paraded with a huge coronation, which is why when he had the chance to encircle Nazi troops, the U.S. and the British forces who were in the area didn't encircle them so that they could just walk into Rome so Clark could get his moment of glory. So they could have ended a good bit of fighting there, but he didn't do it for whatever reason.
Oh, you were just about to vote. And
FF1.
Yeah, so Jaggernaut, I guess you're getting Fantastic Four.
I hope he buys Thor. He's like, I don't care about anybody's opinion. Omar, Melanie, if we do hit NYCC, it will be for all days. I would hate to miss your panel if you have one. Yeah, I would love to do a panel.
Yeah, that would be awesome. There's nothing, haven't even applied, nothing in the works yet.
Yeah, we need to apply and stuff.
But thank you for the support. And you wanted me to come back.
Yeah, so this is from Ibernon Rodriguez, but I noticed that's Neil Adams on your picture there in your avatar. And Neil, if you ever talk to Neil at conventions, I had the pleasure of talking to him, and I was about to interview him, and he was so awesome to talk to because he didn't want to talk about comics. He wanted to talk about the restaurants in the area and where to get the most food for your buck. And I was like, okay, I'm putting the camera down. Let's chat. And it's really cool how Neil presented himself. You always saw him with blue on, and that represented what was it? It was success and things like that. It's awesome. I love the fact that there was somebody like that, and he's despite of how people feel, he's the reason a lot of these people charge for autographs and sketches and things like that. Because a lot of these young artists were drawing sketches for free, and he was like, well, you gotta know what you're worth, right? If you're putting something in, people will take advantage of that. But if you're putting the work and hours into something, you got to charge something for that. And a lot of people took that to heart. And anybody that has ever sat next to Neil Adams could tell you that, any creator. I thought that was really cool that, he was always for the people. He was always for the artists. He's the one that fought really hard for people to get paid if their characters were showing up in the movies and the TV shows and stuff. Omar, I absolutely love your Thor by Walters and Simonson overview. it was so passionate and engaging. Please, please, please make the post-credit spoiler section a regular feature on your videos, on my overviews. Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, I just don't like spoiling things, and then maybe like if somebody gets curious, they might get to the spoiler section. But I also realize that some people don't care about spoilers, and some of that makes people go, gives people a reason to go and buy a book too.
So with my overviews, I talk about the first issue, whatever happens the first issue, it's fair game. And then I say, hey, if I go into spoilers, and I'm like, spoilers, I'm going to talk about the rest of it, or maybe I don't at all. In Transformers, I don't. I just tell you what happens in the first issue and the direction of the story, after that. But in Captain America, I talk about everything.
I will say the hardest overviews for me to do, it's not the books that I personally don't like, but it's the books that I love, because I never know when to cut off. I'm like, okay, this is going to turn into an hour overview of a book, and obviously people are going to see that I really enjoyed this story. And I try to remain as neutral as possible on my overviews. If I'm indifferent about a story, if I think a story is good, not the greatest, I know when to cut off. But it's the stories that mean something to me and that I love so much that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not shutting up. And I'm only halfway through this omnibus, and I got to get through the other part to show off that artwork. Yes. He was great, man.
Let's see. Dom, what's your favorite Spider-Man Fantastic Four crossover story?
It definitely has to be the Future Foundation, or just FF17, which is a one-shot drawn by Nick Dragotta, which is just Johnny and Peter Parker hanging out, seeing like, oh, what's the day in the life between these two? It definitely is mine.
That's
I read that. Richards
for me,
it's the emotional moment in the Hickman Fantastic Four when Spidey was hanging with Franklin after the emotional moment.
That was good. That's probably my second one. My first has to be my childhood, and that is the new Fantastic Four, baby. Wolverine, Ghost Rider, and the freaking Hulk with Spider-Man becoming the new Fantastic Four, because the Fantastic Four were dead, and they get to fight a bunch of kaiju. Oh, forget it. That was drawn by Arthur Adams. That's how they got Arthur Adams on the book, by the way. Walter was like, hey, we'll just throw in some monsters. They're going to Monster Island, and Arthur Adams was like, okay, I'll do your 3-story arc.
How do you choose the books to put on your thumbnail these streams?
Usually what I'm reading, or what I've read in the past week, or what's coming out, or what I've gotten in, something like that. The toy is the hardest one. I'm like, which toy should I put up there? And that sometimes is the new toy that got in. I just got in the book. You do a video book report? Hold on a second, click on that. Nuh-uh, because if I was doing a video book report, I'd be reading the back of the book the whole time. So in this omnibus, the dark forces rise. Years after Luke Skywalker, Leia Organa. That's how it would go. That's how I used to do my book reports when I was in school. Then I learned to appreciate reading.
It's like when you go at the front of a classroom, Omar, and you're talking about To Kill a Mockingbird, and you're just like, this is why mockingbirds were killed in this book, even though it has nothing to do with the book at all.
No, he made with his friends, he made a To Kill a Mockingbird 2.
Oh, that was our project.
Video.
That was awesome.
It had nothing to do with any kind of analysis. It just had the characters, and they were killing each other.
Yes.
And he got an A, and I
got an A+.
Not give it up for that.
You put a lot of work into that. What are you talking about?
It was awesome. Actually, I showed my students years ago. I was like, "Now this has nothing to do."
Yeah, we made a movie called
kind of analysis.
Everybody else was doing like reports and stuff, and Mrs. Wells was like, "Okay, you guys are creative," because we asked if we can make a movie, and she was like, "You guys want to make a movie?" So we called it To Kill a Mockingbird 2. Two birds with one bullet.
Oh, with one bullet. I'm sorry.
And it's nothing like the book. It's like a revenge story where Boo Radley comes back from the dead because the kids kill him. It has nothing to do with the book.
It's just the character.
It's like Metallica music. Oh man.
It's got some nice shots in it though, for amateur high school with a VHS camera.
Just saying. We were way ahead of our time.
I have nothing. Dom and Omar in the chat, you got any suggestions for detective style comics or Omni, something similar to the Death Note with light and LS constant mental outwitting?
Monster. If you've never read Monster and you like manga, Urasawa's Monster's phenomenal. It has a good mystery, and the twists just keep coming. The pitch is like a surgeon that helped out a guy that will become a serial killer, and that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. The back of the book is an overview. Dude, it would make my job so much easier. That's for sure. Omar, you were remarkably fair with your identity crisis review. I was shocked. You really, truly tried not to trash, be negative in the reviews. Thank you, man. Yeah, that one was easy though. You know, I just give you the pitch. I show you the artwork. Whether you want to buy it, it's up to you or not. Because I know there's people that love that story, despite of how I feel. I haven't steered you wrong yet, being the key word. Yet.
Dom, what's upcoming on this channel ever this week?
I have to change something, so I can do this.
Okay.
Don't, because I don't want to tell Dom he's wrong, because it's my fault. I had to change one thing because I realized I'm gonna blow my brain out if I keep trying to do this. So this week, tomorrow is an announcement, unless you're on Patreon, and that announcement comes early in the morning. If you're on Patreon, that announcement is today. And then it's the Richard Corbin Hellboy overview. And Monday is the Punisher Max and ROM 2 overviews. On Tuesday is the Marvel Trade Paperbacks and Old Reader, New Reader. And on the 12th is the top 10 library, or top 10 graphic novels every public library should have. And Reels Talk no. We had to move Reels Talk to Thursday because it's the boys. On Thursday is the Secret 6. Actually, on Tuesday, I'm also going to do an announcement video before the trade. So that'll be early in the morning. Or Monday if you're on Patreon. Secret 6 Omnibus Overview will be Thursday or Friday. I haven't decided, depending on how much time I have. And then on Thursday at 6:15 p.m., I'm interviewing Alex, who is the editor of the G.I. Joe Kickstarter. So you can come and ask him questions about the Kickstarter. And Friday should be the DC solicits, knock on wood. I don't know if it's going to be on time or not. And probably some Dark Horse comics that day. And then next Sunday at 2:30 p.m. is the top 10 graphic novels that belong in every public library panel discussion. Not a fight, because this is, you know. And then I'll be donating those 10 books to the local library. Dom, you're being quiet. What's coming up for you, Dom?
It's a great question, Brian. I've got another update to push off for the release date updates at some point, either coming out today or tomorrow. And then I've got 3 overview videos coming out. 2 of them being brand new collected editions that were released this week. So I'm doing one for Geiger and I'm doing one for Grimm. I'm also doing a quick and short review of JLA Book 1, the complete collection, which has one-shots that were collected in it, compared to the deluxe editions of JLA and the Grant Morrison Omni. So be sure to look out for those.
And on that note, thank you, Jack Ferry, for the super chat.
Identity crisis is trash. Well, you know what they say. One man's trash is somebody else's recycling. So,
is that what they say?
Yeah. Challenge. Say something nice about Scrappy Doo. He's the Wolverine of the Scooby-Doo universe. Final answer.
Mm-hmm.
He's short, little. I'm waiting to use the DC-licious one day. DC-licious. Are you excited for anything in Japan Society First Ever Manga Awards? Or so yeah, they're doing it's an American thing, right? Like the Manga Awards. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with most recent manga. I keep up through it with through TikTok Tina.
Omar, Melanie, I noticed you're both wearing almost matching shirts. What do these shirts say on them?
Say near mint condition.
You can.
This is the old logo.
And here's the new one. And you can get our merch from our store, the stickers, and it's not just t-shirts. So yeah, go check it out. Thank you.
We have different designs for t-shirts as well.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Blazing Asian. Got here.
Oh, dude, what are you doing?
Whoa, Omar, I didn't realize you were married to Starfire. I turned into Starfire. And did you just call Wolverine annoying?
No, Scrappy Doo is annoying. Wolverine's awesome. Will you be doing a Fatale Compendium overview once it's out? Oh, I haven't. When does that come out? I didn't even know it was coming out soon. I usually try to do overviews of books when they come out. I'm Oman, so I will miss the live stream with Alex. Can you grill him about making it over? Grill? Okay. How about we ask, Dan? We ask, okay? Omar, you're also on the Patreon AMA next week. Oh, yeah.
On Friday evening.
Friday evening. Why is that? Because I'm doing a show. Next Friday at 6 p.m. We're going to bring back Matt My Ex. Yeah, next Friday. That's important. I should start. Yeah. Join me, Crushing Crisis, and Oddfell, and the return of Omnibus Collector, Riley. We're going to bring back Matt My Ex. I think we're doing a Wolverine-centric book that I'm not a fan of at all. So it's going to be really interesting where do the arguments take us. I'll be drinking to get ready for the AMA as well. Matt My Dom of X.
So you can tune in for the Matt My Ex, and then afterwards through Patreon, the $7.77 tier, you get access to the Ask Me Anything chat.
You can join me to see how I really feel about these people.
It's like 4 a.m. Oh man.
Oh,
okay, ask, and then if he says no, grill. Riley coming out of comic retirement.
Yeah, we've been talking a little bit about it. I actually need to send a reminder. My ex Alf, he is an X-Men. No, he is not. Saturday morning fan. So does Fatale Companion mean we won't get a deluxe? Oh, I'm sure we'll get those reprints when they start doing more, right? Don't we need another volume? I think he said there was going to be a total. Dom, what is there going to be a total of 4 or 5 of those deluxes once the story's all done?
Should be 5. It should be 4. I thought it was 4.
4. Oh, that's great. Then we need just one more. I hope they do Black Magic too. I'm stuck between Dark Knight Omnibus versus Absolute. If you really like just the main story and that beautiful artwork in a big format, get the Absolute. If you want the whole shebang in a great reading order, get the Omnibus. Absolute Superman by Jeff Johns coming soon. Oh yeah, we're all excited for that. Not an omnibus, but still super excited.
Should I start Thor with Simonson or Aaron? If I start with Simonson, can I just jump right into Aaron after?
There's a big gap in between the two.
There's a lot of stories in between.
I mean, you can. I don't see a problem with that. It's just that Thor is a different type of character by the time you read him in Jason Aaron's run. Alpha's 4 Melmac X-Men missions. He took on us. What? Scrappy Doo is the Glenn Reeve Scooby versus he's the Wolverine. Who was asking to say something nice about Scrappy Doo? Oh, it's
John.
John was asking.
Thank you, Jack, for the super chat.
I showed up late. Any word from DC? Anything? No word yet, but I'm sending a reminder email on Monday. Alf did crossover. Oh God, here we go. I'm not reading that nonsense.
I was just showing something.
You know what you're doing.
He then he's in a background in X-Men 245, drawn by Rob Liefeld, by the way. JMS is a good entry point to modern Thor. I agree with that. But out of those two, I mean, yeah, you could. You're going to miss some stuff. Are the new announcements for reprints, new Omnis, or one of each? No reprints for these next couple of announcements. New stuff.
Tom, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What have you been reading this week?
What have I been reading this week? That's a great question. I feel like I've said that a billion times this week. I am continuing to go along my retread of Justice League Dark Omni, because it's big, and I haven't. And the reason to why I bought it was because I stopped buying the run after Tynion left because I'd never heard of Rom V. And then I got flamed by all of my friends like a week later when I told them about it, and they said, "You dropped it because of Rom V. It's like almost better, and they're both really good." So I'm continuing my course on that, and I'm still on my reread of the Absolute Justice League World's Greatest Superheroes by Alex Ross and Paul Dini. I feel like I've been rereading this book for the last 4 weeks, but I'm treading along with it there too.
Okay, yeah, like it just took me a while to get through JLA Avengers. It's not a quick read. Thor Heroes Reborn Volume 1 on this is a quick read, easy book to get into if you've ever read the character, except for that 8th day crossover event that drags it down to.
That's the one with the Juggernaut.
Let's see. Carson's asking which one, New 52 or Rebirth?
Oh, Justice League Rebirth. This is the Tynion Rom V series.
The greatest of all time.
Jack, what are you talking about?
You heard someone fart over there. You need to get your hearing checked. Was it the book?
Was it?
Maybe it was the book, the hinges of the book.
What speakers does that? Oh, wait. Never mind.
Melanie, my super
Stickers are
stickers.
still not working.
Sure, they're not, Bar.
So my flaming hot Melanie. What are
Yeah,
you reading right
Is
now?
he the one that shipped something out to James to ship to you? I don't think so, Bar.
Oh,
This
Vlad,
guy.
that stuff. It's sitting in my craft room to ship out. I
Oh yeah, we need
to
do that this week. We need to do that this
We
week.
haven't been to the post office. Let's see. So I read Stillwater by Zdarsky, and it's gonna be one of my hidden gems. It's creepy. Gosh, I've read a lot. Yeah, I read Ryan North's Fantastic Four Volume 1. I've read Cyrene Jelly Avengers. I finished reading what's Miracle Man, the Silver Age.
Masterpiece. That was so good. I love that book.
Oh man, I've got my
One Piece. You've been reading One Piece.
One Piece. I guess it doesn't. I never think of it because I'm always reading it. It's been like almost a year. Yes, David Stillwater. That's really good. And other stuff that I'm forgetting. I know I've read more than that because it's summer.
Yeah.
Yay! Thanks for asking. Oh, wait. I believe her. Yes, Zdarsky doesn't miss, and I'm including Batman Falling from Space. I love.
Some people hated that.
Love it.
No, really,
And,
who farted? Confess. Dude,
Jack, thank you for the super sticker.
I'm 46 years old.
Or
I
the
would
super
I
chat.
would tell you if I did. I don't.
That's it.
I don't think
It was
anybody.
Squirtle. It was Squirtle.
You know what? It was. It might have been the book. I don't know what he's hearing.
So I'm definitely going to read past volume 2 and volume 1 because I'm going to totally plug Zdarsky's Substack for only like $35 for a whole year. You get access to all the comics. Like that's a great deal. So yes, I hate reading on my phone, but I don't have to wait for the second trade. I can just read it on my
Your
phone.
GPS thinks you're in Egypt?
Oh,
Bar?
weird.
Maybe that's how Roberto Rodriguez kept winning the UK giveaway. You remember that? He won twice. I love comics.
Batman, Daredevil, like our favorites.
Who I have dinner with? My dinner with Batman.
Who would you have dinner with? Oh, I'd have dinner with Daredevil. I ain't having dinner with Batman.
Yeah, Batman. I'd turn around and Batman. Turn around and Batman would skip out on the bill.
Yeah. Who would you have dinner with, Dom? Batman or Daredevil?
Matt, so I could get some legal advice.
Oh, okay, that's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Okay.
Absolute Justice League by Alex Ross is awesome.
It is. I love those stories in there.
Oh, I will say
that one, Captain Marvel, man, that one hits.
I'm not a fan of Alex Ross's
what is happening?
Listen, let me finish.
Wow.
The covers on the Fantastic Four because of the neon coloring. I don't like that.
Oh, he's doing that new style. I dig it. I love it. That's how he did that.
The
he did the graphic novel, The Fantastic Four Circle.
I can't afford to eat where Batman does. Batman will pay for it.
No, he won't. He'll skip out on the bill. You turn around and he's gone.
What about Lucas Bishop? What are your thoughts on Extreme X-Men Omnis? Is it worth it? Let me work.
Please don't do that.
Reverse.
Don't stop. You need to stop right now. I'm gonna let Dom answer first. What are your thoughts on Extreme X-Men, Dom?
I think they're great if you love the old like classic flair of Claremont. They're not my favorite Claremont stories, but if you like that vibe, I think it's definitely worth a pickup if you love the old timey fashy look of those characters.
I agree. I think I'm a Claremont fanboy. I also know when Claremont is bad, and there are moments when he's bad. But I actually love Extreme X-Men.
That's a line in that one song from Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I think Extreme X-Men is exactly what I know what I'm in for. It's Claremont with Claremontisms, a little bit stuck in the 90s. He wasn't ready for this new era. And I think the unfair thing is what happens is that we have new X-Men going on at the same time, but it's balanced out because we also have Chuck Austin's Uncanny X-Men going on at the same time. So it's kind of like perfect middle ground for people. I liked it. I understand why people don't. Is it extreme? Not like Extreme Studios Youngblood Extreme, but there were some things in there that a lot of people didn't agree with.
I want nachos.
Okay.
Dom,
Dom,
where'd you get
awesome
your
shirt. Where's that from?
I got this from the Disney store 2.5 years ago. Disney
they
has a
still-
lot of
Hey.
yeah, like so they have Disney stores here at like certain malls. Like there's if you go to any like mall here in California, anyways, they
used
have
to
like a
be.
Disney store
Yeah.
front. And went in there. Dad got me this shirt, so
Aw.
works pretty well.
You
It's like,
know, one thing I regret not buying in my whole life, no, I'm just kidding. Surely not the only thing, was when I was in college in the Disney store and I saw Jack Skellington framed like collage. It was pictures from Night Before Christmas, but it created the picture of him, the look on his face when he sees the Christmas tree for the first time. And like my face went like that, probably reflecting the look on his face. And it was like $90. And I was like, no, I shouldn't spend the money
it's a
on
lot
it.
of money.
Yeah, especially back then. I didn't have a job. Now I regret not getting that. Jeff
Batman.
Berry, thank you for the super chat. Batman, he can pick up the check. Okay. And Kenneth's yelling, Batman does not eat nachos, but that makes me want nachos. Let's see. Thank you, Dom, for putting that in the chat because
Omnibo was asking twice, and he keeps going to a
Fast and Furious
yeah.
videos when I search.
You're everywhere all at once.
Oh. Thank you for calling him Captain Marvel instead of Shazam.
He's earned it. He was Captain Marvel long. I don't think that's his name anymore. I think he's just known as the Captain nowadays, right?
He's just known as the Captain. Yeah, Wade introduced or reintroduced that back with the new Shazam run.
Gotcha. Okay.
Robert's comments were saying next where we go after Sandman reread, Air or Crossing Midnight.
I prefer Air. I
Yeah,
actually
either.
really like that one.
Mhm.
That's the G. Will Wilson series. I think, the first 2 volumes are phenomenal. The last 2, they're good enough, like to wrap up the stories, but I like the first 2. I like the whole mystery of this other world.
Oh, it's a line from the Batman, the Brave and the Bold animated series. Okay, I thought you were just very passionate about it.
Batman does not eat nachos is a line from Batman Brave and the Bold.
All right. Logan's asking the tough-hitting questions. I've recently learned that people thought X-Men Schism was dumb. Wolverine's entire reason for feuding with Cyclops a stupid half character. What are your thoughts / feelings on it?
I'm gonna let Dom answer first, and then I will talk.
See, putting me on the spot, Omar, because you're not gonna like my opinion when I talk about it.
Well, I mean, it's good if we have a difference of opinion, right? So I hope you like it.
Schism was not one of my favorite X-Men stories. I found see, part of me is like I can't even enjoy the story because I like Frank Cho art. I just hate his Cyclops. So that kind of ruins it for me. Like I think a lot of other creators that include like Stuart Immonen. I'm like reading Brian Michael Bendis's X-Men or whatever. Whenever I see like actual regular Cyclops pop up, he looks so much better when he's drawn by Stuart. I think I agree. I think some of the story or characters are written weird in that story just so we could have a Cyclops Wolverine fight. I get where Aaron's trying to go with it. I just never understood the motivation for both of those guys. But it is what it is.
I am not a fan of that whole era of. I like Kieran Gillen's X-Men at that time, and I think that was about it. I wasn't a fan of the whole fight, why it happened. It just seemed ridiculous, and it seemed like I know events have to happen to revamp the era of X-Men. It just didn't make any sense. Like, why are these 2 characters even fighting? And I mean, out of that though, we did get Wolverine and the X-Men, which is, I think, a great series for that character. I think it was time for him.
You're great.
Thank you. I think it was time for the character to just evolve right into the next phase of his life. And he's been taking care of all these kids all his life. So why not become the headmaster of a school? Bendis is a X-Men was okay. I can understand why people liked it. But the whole like schism and all that, it didn't make a lick of sense to me. Like, but also AVX and all that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dom, are you from the Bay Area and were you drinking from a Dodgers coffee cup? Yes, I am. I am from the Bay Area, but I am infamously known around these parts for not rooting for any Bay Area teams except for the San Francisco 49ers. I got into sports because of Kobe Bryant, so I naturally rooted for all LA teams, and that included my cousins, one of who was getting married next month, who got me over to the dark side.
Okay, there's your answer.
They set Logan up as a teacher in Days of Future Past movie also, and dumped it next movie.
Yeah, I like the Days of Future Past movie. I thought it was well done. Marvel hates characters evolving. I mean, so does DC, right? You have characters that have been around for 60 to, oh my gosh.
It's always a
DC.
rotating cycle with every single character.
DC will just reboot it, right? Actually, no, this is enough Superman. Let's just reboot it. You read so many of these characters for so many years that, of course, it gets stale after a while. So I do have to give it to them for trying out new things, even though they always, it seems like they always do, and some of it sticks and some of it just doesn't work.
It is 1:00. So how many more questions?
Let me take 5. Time is flying. Let me take 5 more questions. Speed round. Here we go.
This is a good question from the collector. What's a book that you regret giving away or selling? Mine is Fury Max hardcover. By the way, will we get reprints?
Fury Max, I would love that, especially since he's writing another Fury story. Oh man, that's the one where he takes somebody's entrails and chokes the guy with his own entrails. That was so edgy. I know some people can't.
Machete.
Some people don't like that, but I thought it was awesome. I have a lot I've given away, and some by mistake.
Give it away.
Daredevil Love and War, that gallery edition Marvel sent me. They sent me a copy of it. No, they sent me 2 copies of it. And I was going to keep one, and I ended up doing a giveaway, and I accidentally put it in 2 lots. So I was a man of my word, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll just find a copy someday, because it was out of print when I gave it away, and I haven't reprinted it yet. Oh, man. Single issues, I wish I still had my giant size one and my Hulk 181, my Uncanny 94. Spider-Man 300. I kind of wish I had those back. Who knows? Maybe one day. What about you, Dom? Anything you regret it giving away?
You know what? I've given a lot of comics to a lot of friends, and it all made them not like either appreciate the medium more or just got into comics in general. So I don't have any regrets as of the moment. That could change in the next couple of years, but right now, I mean, my goal. I have 2 goals for comics. Anyways, it's like, I want more people to read comics, and I want people to read more comics. And if I'm not doing that, I'm not doing my job. So that is my mission, and I'm going to make it continue to be my mission until I stop reading it all.
Mm-hmm. And Omar, please recommend compact editions to Marvel.
Funny enough, well, never mind. That was off the record. Like, that is something that was supposed to happen a few years back. But whenever somebody has ideas, there's always somebody pushing back, right? So it just but Marvel has done that before. They did do some like digest size, like the Tsunami era books that were $7.99. So you had like Mystique, you had Sentinel, you had Runaways in that format. So they have tried things like that in the past. It is interesting to see classic stories collected that way. Oh my gosh! I said this was the rapid round. 3 Batman round. Oh my gosh!
That's top 3 Batman writers. Go.
Oh gosh, this is difficult, Melanie. Oh, okay. Alan Grant, Paul Dini. Alan Grant, Paul Dini, and oh man, I really, really like a lot of Mike W. Barrs, but he's one of my favorites. Woo! This is tough. Why'd you have to do? Oh, this is the last question, by the way. This is too.
Oh, okay.
This is putting a lot of strain on me because there's so many great writers that have written Batman.
What do you think, Dom?
Chuck Dixon maybe is up there for me, but I don't know if he'd make it in the top 3. Please do an Avengers reading order. I usually let our Patreons vote for that, but sure, I can see if that will be on the next poll. Actually, the next poll is going to be the events. Oh man, it would have to probably be my childhood. So of course I do like a lot of the Alan Grant and Dennis O'Neil. Yeah, not Scott Snyder for me. Probably top 10. I do like Scott Snyder. Dennis O'Neil did introduce a lot of my favorite characters and a lot of concepts. So, yeah, okay. Dennis O'Neil, Alan Grant, and Paul Dini. Final answer. What about you?
Dennis O'Neil, Grant Morrison, Paul Dini.
Not Scott Snyder. I really thought you would go with Snyder, too.
See, yeah, like here's the thing with me. When I get exposed to more Batman stories, the more I go, the first Batman story isn't as like good as like the next one I read, or isn't the bad one. So I keep revolving my faves in my head, but for right now, those three take the cake.
Okay, those are good answers. Marvel did book-size Marvel trade books in the 70s and 80s, including Star Wars and Planet of the Apes book, plus X-Men and others. That's awesome. I do love a difference of opinion, though, people coming in from like Dennis O'Neil, Chuck Dixon. Yeah, Chuck Dixon would be up there for me because he was a lot of my childhood, too. Morrison had some amazing stories and then not some amazing. A fair balance. Omar and Dom, what is your favorite Marvel giant-sized issue?
I thought you said that was
the okay, last question.
X-Men.
Giant-sized X-Men number 1. Can't pick it, Dom.
Easy.
What is it?
Yeah, X-Men.
No, you can't pick it. That's my choice.
Oh, come on.
Pick something else.
That's not fair.
Get in line, Dom.
I said it first, though, to be fair.
No, you didn't. We can rewrite history. Yes, yes.
Oh, that's cheating.
Giant size is the answer, though. Come on. Introducing
it
as
is.
a whole new team? Absolutely.
I'll go Invaders. Just because Omar said X-Men, I'll go Invaders.
Just kidding. You can pick it. You can pick. What about you, baby? Giant size. Spider-Man?
Yep.
5. Okay. Giant size Spider-Man.
Because that's...
Godzilla in Heck is amazing. I absolutely love Godzilla in Heck.
Oh, we got a super chat.
My comic recommendation, Jack Staff by Paul Grist. Well, thank you for that.
Super chat.
And thank you for the super chat. And thank you all for being here. Check out cheapgraphicnovels.com. They can order you the G.I. Joe compendiums that Kickstarter has right now, but instead of $350, it's $315 shipped. So it saves you $35 if you want to go that route. And tell them your Make Industry sent you their way, and you can have free shipping on your next order after your first one. Giant size man thing. Yes, James Rhodes. That is the answer. Everybody have a wonderful week. I will be back sometime this week with some live videos and, of course, videos every day. And thank you, Dom, who will be your host on July. When was that?
July 6th, right?
July 6th here. Yeah, with a couple of other people joining him, including Taylor Talks Comics. But that's it, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.
Stay minty.